I'm Andrew Cephas, the Public Information Officer for the Prince George's County Department of Corrections, and I'm here for another milestone interview outside the Prince George's County Correctional Officers Association Union. Today I'm interviewing Lieutenant Owens, who has been with the Department of Corrections for 32 years. I hope you enjoy this interview. How you doing, Lieutenant Owens?
How are you?
I'm good. Thank you for sitting down with me for an interview. This is another milestone interview, and we just want to recognize you for being with the department for so many years and showing so much dedication.
I appreciate it.
So how long have you been with the department to this day?
Actually, January 4th was 32 years.
Okay, congratulations.
Thank you.
Are you from Maryland?
I'm from Calvert County, Maryland, born and raised. I had a real good upbringing and a strong mother who made sure that we were doing what we were supposed to do.
Okay.
She knew where the kids were at night.
Okay. So I know not a lot of people grow up saying they want to work in public safety, law enforcement, especially in a jail environment. What got you interested in working in corrections?
Okay, so you're right. I never said I wanted to be a correctional officer. And I was working for the Baltimore Gas and Electric Company down at the Calvert Cliff Nuclear Power Plant. And I was working for Globe Security there, as well as a documentation clerk. So I had two jobs there. Mm-hmm. And one of my cousins was doing construction when they were building the jail in Upper Marlboro. And once the jail was completed, he let me know. He said, you can make so much more money doing construction. Mm-hmm. So I was in the jail one day on the ladder, just dusting, cleaning a mirror, and I saw William Johnson, a.k.a. Stretch. And they were over inspecting and coming over, and he saw me working, and he said, what are you doing on that ladder? Mm. And I said, I'm working. He said, you need to come work for corrections. And I said, okay. And I actually applied, and maybe about a year, the whole process took me, and I came on over.
So over your 32 years with the department, what are some of the different positions and roles that you've held?
So I've held a lot of roles. ERT. I'm one of the original ERT members. When it started, there were 2 females on the teams, and it was myself and Novella White. I worked regional. I was the compliance and control supervisor. Colonel Costello, I was her executive NCO. Mr. Stanton gave me an opportunity to be an acting lieutenant back in 2008, and I appreciate him for that. He's there. I worked the hostage negotiations team. So there's been so many roles that I have actually had a CISM team, had an opportunity to be a part of.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Do you have any particular role over the years that has been your favorite?
I think I really enjoyed the ERT. And I say that because one thing about the ERT, we were like a real family as well. And so when I started in the department, we were all like family. And it was a good feeling to know when you got in on a situation that we had each other's back.
Along with being, being such a close family with ERT back then, do you see any differences between how ERT was ran back when you were on it in the beginning compared to now?
So the difference I see now is a lot of the laws and legislations and things that came out, the cameras. So we didn't have any of that. The difference now is you really have to make sure you're doing things correctly. Don't get me wrong about the cameras. The cameras can also save us, and I do understand that. But when we were doing it, there were no cameras.
Over your years with the emergency response team, what was your most memorable situation you responded to?
The most memorable thing I responded to was a situation in Housing Unit 6. It was a riot situation. And when we came in, it was inmates all over the place. They were throwing trash. They were throwing chairs down on us. And we paired up, and we literally had to go in and sweep. And they weren't locking down. They were just determined. They weren't going in. K9 came in to assist us, but it was a bad situation. And I just thank God we had a debriefing from that, but it wasn't long after that where we started a CISM team, because mentally it was a lot going on in that unit that night. And so when you find yourself in situations where you don't know if you're going to come out of it, because at any point we could have really gotten hurt, we made it. And I just thank God for that. But that experience there is one that I would never forget with the ERT.
And what year was this?
1996.
Okay. So what is your current position with the department?
I'm currently the president of Prince George's Correctional Officers Association, where I represent the sworn officers as well as civilian employees.
How long have you been the president of the union?
Since 2016, I was elected to be the union president, and it's 4 years now because I'm in the second term.
What made you want to first run for union president?
I just thought that I could offer a lot of help and assistance to the officers. Being around for the 32 years, you've seen a lot, you've been through a lot, and I really thought that I could offer them, I could contribute to us becoming a better and a stronger union.
Has there been anybody who served as a mentor for you as you transitioned to the president role for the union?
I actually have reached out a lot to Makata Jacobs. I have to say she was one of the strong presidents of this of the union, and so she had a lot to offer as far as knowledge, and I really respect her opinions about a lot. So we're friends, and I really appreciate the fact that I can reach out to her.
What are some of the most difficult parts in your position as president?
For me, it's difficult when it's staff on staff. And sometimes when you have a situation where you represent both, it's very challenging, it's very difficult because you don't want one of the individuals thinking that you're siding with the other individual, you know. So I really try to sit down with them both and explain my side and what it is and how it is I can help them.
In your opinion, what do you enjoy most about serving as president of the Corrections Union?
I really enjoy helping people. I really enjoy working on different like negotiations, things that are benefits, things that make the officers happy. I really try to do what I can to make things better and good for them.
What would you say is the most important, or it could be more than one thing, the most important thing you've learned since you become president of the union?
I think the most important thing I learned is what we were just touching on, is just try to stay fair and consistent and just try to do the best I can. When we go to negotiations, I always try to ensure that we're getting, you know, the best that we can get and that it's fair across the board. So when I say across the board with the fire and the police and the sheriff, and I just try to stay in touch with the things that they're getting to make sure we're not left out. So that's very, very important to me.
So touching back on your experience as an officer a little bit, have you had any mentor or somebody who's helped you over the years as far as?
The one who actually helped me get the job, Stretch, but he was a good mentor with me. I remember when I first became sergeant, one thing about Stretch, he was hands-on. He would come to the zone and he would walk when I did my security checks. He would go in the units, he would go up and down the steps, he would talk to the inmates, and he was really a great mentor. He always challenged me to make sure I was doing what I was supposed to do, and I greatly appreciated that about him.
So coming into a jail environment and working, it's kind of difficult to know what to expect. Has working with the Prince George County Department of Corrections been what you expected?
So when I came in, I didn't know what to expect, to be very honest with you. But as far as a career, it has been. And I thank God for the Department of Corrections because, like I said before I started, I was working 2 and 3 jobs. The Department of Correction has been a blessing for me. I thank God for the professionalism, the professional people that I've worked with, and the things that I've learned from the Department of Corrections. So I have nothing but high praises for the Department of Corrections because it has allowed me to put my son through college. So many good things, and so I'm grateful.
So over your years, do you have any sort of event, incident, or situation that's been your most memorable, something that you never see yourself forgetting?
When Captain Smith took over Shift 3, she had this big talent show. And I'll never forget that. It was so memorable. It was just so well put together, and I really appreciated her for that.
So 32 years is definitely a significant amount of time to be with a career. So what do you think has helped gotten you through your 32 years with the department?
My family, my mom, my dad, my siblings, my immediate family has been my rock, and I thank God for each and every one of them. And that's very important to me. My family means the world to me.
So nationwide and Prince George's County Department of Corrections is a male-dominated field in corrections. Do you have any advice for females, women who are coming into the Department of Corrections?
Yes. For me, I just worked alongside of the men. I never wanted them to pick up behind me. I did the job. I think we have a lot of women that are able to surpass and do a lot of the things. And so when we're working in a male-dominant facility, when I look at some of the women, and especially like myself, I don't see much that they could do that I couldn't do. So I always thought like that, if they can do it, I can do it. When we were on ERT, when they got on the mat, I got on the mat. So I didn't ask for favors. Whatever they did, I tried to do as well. You feel more independent anyway when you're not relying on people. I just would advise women to just get out there and do the job, do what you're supposed to do as well. Just do the job.
I heard that you never took a sick day in your 32 years with the department. Is that true?
I've never called in sick. So I've taken a sick day. I've never called in sick in my 32 years. I've done it the right way. When I had doctor's appointments and things like that, I've put in leave, so I've been able to use my sick leave. I've never had to pick up the phone and said, put me on S40 today. So I thank God for that.
That's all the questions I had. Was there anything else you wanted to add in for the interview?
No. Thank you for letting me sit down and speak with you.
Thank you.
I truly appreciate it that you even thought of me.
Of course.
Appreciate it.
The 6 was a unit. It was a regular unit, but most of those guys who was in 6 was going to get time. At least 25 years at least. They was getting time, and they put them in that one unit. So they didn't have nothing to lose.
Right.
That's why they went like that.
And we had a big debriefing about it. And then that's when they started talking about the CISM team, having somebody to be able to really, be there for your emotions and the mental things. Because, people were affected and touched different ways from the situation. And there were people who actually quit. They was not playing. Them guys were not going to lock in. They were serious about not going in. We had to actually go hands-on and literally put these people in the cells.
Because
it was really serious.
Yeah, it was. Because a lot of people got post-traumatic stress from that.